Have you ever wondered, what does it feel like to chase your dreams? Have you ever wondered, what does it feel like to achieve your dreams? Have you ever wondered, what does it feel like, look like, taste like, sound like, and smell like to have what you want to have in your life? To do what you want to do in your life, and to be what you want to be in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. This is Farookh Sensei from farookhsensei.com. Today's topic is Think Big and Dream Big. I'm going to take you through 8 simple steps. You may either call it steps or you may either call it principles, which would turn your dreams into reality. These are the simple steps which I have applied in different parts of my life. These are the simple steps which I applied in 1987 and which made me the Grand Karate Champion of India around about 27 years back. These are the 8 principles which later on in 1990 I applied and made me the gold medalist of India, and later in 1992 and 1993. I have applied the same principle in my professional life, in my career, even in my education life. These are the 8 principles which made me a world record holder in IATA or IATA for having the highest number of qualifications in the world. Today in 2014, I hold 40 IATA qualifications. I broke my own record 7 times, and I'm going to share those simple 8 steps or principles with you. Let me start with the very first. What does every journey to success start with? Meaning, what is the starting point to success? What is the origin to success? If success is the destination, I should not be using the word destination, but just for this example, let me use the word destination, because success is a journey and not a destination. So for this example, if I use that as a destination, so my question is, what is the origin? Any idea? Write it down. If you know, then please write it down. If you want to stop, you may just go and press the stop button and write it down. I'm going to give you the answer for sure, but write it down. Think. I want you to explore and you to find out what is the origin or what is the initial starting point to success. Okay, I believe there are a couple of answers which you have already written on a paper, or maybe it is there in your mind. Let's see, what is the initial point? The initial point is a dream. Everything starts with a dream. It starts with a dream, or it starts with a thought, or it starts with an idea. Now you are right now sitting in a house, or you are sitting in an office. That office once upon a time was an idea of somebody. The computer that you're using was an idea or a thought of someone. Am I right? So everything starts either with an idea, or it starts with a dream, or it starts with a thought. So let's start with point number 1, or step number 1. Step number 1 is to dream it. You got to dream. If you want to achieve something, you got to dream it. Your dream could be anything. Maybe your dream is to become a world record holder, or it could be to win a trophy, or it could be to get a graduation or a doctorate or a degree, or it could be to get a job, your dream job, if I use the word dream job, or it could be a promotion within your career, within the department, or it could be to start a new business. Maybe that's your dream, to be an entrepreneur. Or it could be to have your own dream house. It doesn't matter how big the house is or how small the house is, it's your house, your dream house. Or your dream could be to travel around the world and see the world, explore the world. Or it could be to get married, the best year to get married. Or it could be to reduce your weight, maybe that's your dream. Or your dream could be just to be healthy, fit. Or your dream could be to be a mother, a dream of yours. Or a very simple dream to have a very peaceful family. Your dream could be anything. And your dream is very personal to you, and my dream is very personal to me. Every reality begins with a dream, thought, or an idea. And whenever there's an idea that comes in, that pops in, just take a piece of paper and write it down. I've seen millionaires in their magazines and in their news and the interviews. I've seen them and heard from them stating that they have always started writing on a piece of paper, and when idea comes they just write it down, and if they don't have a piece of paper they take just the toilet roll and write it on that. So the very first thing is, when an idea comes in your mind, write it down. You got to carry a journal with you. I carry a journal always with me, and I always use the traditional way, not the laptop, not the computer, but I use the very simple notebook. It's always there with me, and I write it on my book. And you will find it scratches. Nobody can understand what I have written, but I can understand what I have written. It's all pictures with different colors, but I always use the traditional way of a journal. So recommendation number 1 is always carry a journal with you. This was a dream. I hope you agree to that. A dream of 2 brothers, the Wright brothers. This was a dream, the sound traveling through a string to the other end. This was a dream, a computer. This was a dream to send letters from one point to another during the time of the emperors. This was a dream, a transaction. This was a dream, the sound wave. Every reality leads to a new dream, it leads to a new idea, or it leads to a new thought. It has to grow, but with time it has to grow. Now my question is, today if you go to the airport, would you see the same aircraft that you see on the screen? The answer is no, the time has changed. That was in 1903 when the Wright brothers took off for the first time. But today it's 2014, the time has changed, so you can't have the same aircraft anymore. You got to change with the time. I hope you agree to that. But it all started with that small dream of that 2 brothers. And in the same aircraft, from that aircraft, it came to this one. Though we don't have this aircraft anymore, it is a Concorde, but that was the fastest passenger supersonic aircraft. But it all started with the Wright brothers. Today we have the jumbos, or we call it the double-ducker, the A380s, Airbus A380s. It all started with the Wright brothers. Today we got the latest. What about this one? Always looking forward, always moving forward. What about this? Today it's email. When was the last time you sent a letter to somebody, handwritten and signed? We don't have paper anymore to send letters. No more gold coins, and no more coins either. What about this one? If you go and ask today's kids to bring a floppy, they would say, what is a floppy? Today there's no floppy. We moved from floppy to CDs and hard disks and USBs, and today it's all cloud age. With time, everything changes. It becomes more simple and easy to handle. I don't know where is radio now, because every equipment has got a music in it. Whether it is my laptop, whether it's my mobile, everything has got that. So in fact, I myself, I don't know where is the radio. I'm completely lost. This little boy had a dream. His dream was to have a computer in every home. Today, if you go to the street, if you go to the bazaar, if you go to the airport, if you go to the field, if you go on top of the mountains, you'll find computers there. Dreams. You got to dream. This young boy had a dream, and his dream was to be the fastest person on earth. That's a dream. You got to dream, because the Creator has given you a brain, and there is something called the mind. You got to use your mind to dream. This small city, or if I call this as a town or a bazaar, had a dream. There were two young guys, who had a dream to conquer the Everest. In 1953, they conquered the Everest. It was their dream. A dream nobody supported, because nobody till date had conquered Everest. But they had a dream, and their dream was to conquer the Everest. John F. Kennedy had a dream to send human being to the moon. That was a dream. Traveling to the Mars was a dream. (2022) the World Cup in Qatar. That's a dream. Gonna happen for the first time in the Middle East. It's a great achievement. It's a great dream. Don't kill. My dear friends, don't kill. Don't kill your dreams. Don't kill your ideas. And don't kill your thoughts. Always dream big. Aim at the star. If you don't hit the star, at least you hit the moon. If you don't hit the moon, then at least you hit the rooftop. So always dream big. So point number one is you got to dream it, and when you dream it, always dream big. Anyway, you're dreaming, so dream big. That takes us to point number two, or step number two. And step number two is to wake up. What do you mean by wake up? You will find all rich ideas, dreams, thoughts, money and gold here. Now where is this place? Where am I pointing this finger? You tell me. All ideas, all rich ideas and dreams and thoughts and gold, everything is here at that particular point. It's nowhere other than a cemetery. People with ideas, with dreams, they don't take it out. They sleep while they are alive, and they die with the dreams with them. My dear friends, understand, if you've got a dream, you have to bring the dream out, share it with others. If you've got an idea, whether it's a small idea or a big idea, it doesn't matter, bring it out. So you got to wake up. The great boxer Muhammad Ali said, the best way to make your dreams come true is to wake up. And he knew that. that takes us to step number 3. You got to believe. When I say believe, you got to believe in the Creator for sure, and you got to believe in yourself. Very important. You got to believe in yourself. If my mind can conceive it and my heart can believe it, then I can achieve it. Muhammad Ali. It doesn't matter how old you are, because that's one of the excuses people say. I'm old. Others say I'm too young. And then there's an excuse which says I don't have time. No. If your mind can conceive and if your heart can believe, then for sure you can achieve it. He also said, to be a great champion, you must believe you are the best. Very important. To be a great champion, you must believe that you are the best. Now look at those kids who goes to the examination. There are some kids who study very well, but once they reach the examination hall, they start shivering. Even if they get the easiest question paper or assessment paper or assignments or whatever it is, they start shivering and they're not able to write. Whereas there's a different category of kids, or maybe even youngsters and even adults like you and I. They don't have to go through the books or anything, but they have got the courage and they have this belief that yes, I'll do it. It doesn't matter whatever the examination paper is, and I'll handle it. And these are the people who succeed, because they are telling to themselves that I can do it. It's a child's play for me. So they have this belief within themselves. The same applies when you go for an interview. You practice all the techniques, you practice all the questions, and then you go to the interview and you shiver there. The very first question you get from the other end, you're lost completely. But there would be another guy who has no practice about the questions and he has got the complete belief in himself. He goes there and he faces the challenge. Understand that. Very important. You got to believe in yourself. The two brothers, they believed in themselves. They were just cycle mechanics. They had no idea about aviation. But they believed in their strength. You got to believe. Each and every individual has a potential, high potential. You got to use your maximum potential. When they jump from the aircraft, they believe and they trust. They know that they are going to land safely on ground. There's a belief there. If there's no belief, for sure they're not going to jump from the aircraft. The student is the one who is lower. The student always believes the instructor who is on the top. There's a belief here. The same belief applies here too. When this gentleman walks from one end of the rope to the other end, he believes 110% that I am going to reach on the other end absolutely safe, because there is no room for error. Belief. When a high jumper was interviewed, how do you cross this bar, which is the double the height of yours? He said very simply, I stand there, I look at the rod, and my mind says, yes, I can do it. When the mind says yes, my body automatically follows my mind. That's a belief. When the wall of snow in front of you, conquering the Himalayas, getting on to the Everest, every single step dangerous, but still there's a belief that I would reach there. that takes me up. You got to have that belief if you want to be successful. It is hard to beat a guy when he believes that he is going to win. Very hard. If I am going to fight with someone and if his belief is stronger than me, I'm quite sure that he's going to win. It is not my practice, it's not my skill. It is the belief which would definitely win. So it is hard to beat a guy when he believes that he is going to win. If there is no belief, you go nowhere. You completely stop. It doesn't matter whatever qualification you have, whatever experience you have, whatever knowledge you have, whatever financial background you have, whatever wealth you have or health you have. It doesn't matter. If there is no belief, you won't go forward. You will stop there. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. C.S. Lewis. You are never old, never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. In our case, what happens is that once we turn 50, we say that we are old. There's no more challenge. We look for a rocking chair, sit comfortably, raise our legs on the arms. But let's look here. Mary Moore achieves a dream to fly an aircraft at the age of 91. Please understand, my dear friends, you are not too old to dream a new dream. 91 and flying a plane. Yuichiro Miura, the oldest to climb Mount Everest at the age of 80. Just imagine at the age of 80 climbing the Mount Everest, which is called the roof of the earth. 100th birthday, Vernon Maynard skydives with his instructor. He is 100 years old. You can go and watch him on YouTube if you would like to. Just type his name and you will find him jumping from the aircraft. 100th birthday. Rajo Devi Lohan, first time mother at the age of 69, when the doctor said that she won't be able to give birth, when her family said that she was taking risk. She didn't have a child, but she had a dream. She had a dream, and now she is living with that child who is 5 years old. She was very positive and she believed that I would have a child and I will have a child and I can carry a child. At the age of 69, she gave birth to a little boy. That takes us to step number 4. So let's recap. Step number 1, dream it. Step number 2, you gotta wake up. And what's step number 3? You got to believe it. Now, step number 4 is to see it. When I say see it, I mean seeing in your inner eye. When I say inner eye, I'm talking about your mind. You got to see it in your mind. And this is a system which has been in practice in sports for centuries now. And there's a very good example that you see on the screen. Before he hits into the hole, Tiger Woods is aiming at it. He's visualizing it, how the ball has to move. It is a practice in sport. Before you do anything, you visualize it properly in your inner eye. You just close your eyes, just relax and visualize yourself. Today the coaching has come from sports, it has moved on to corporate level. And the same visualization is today used in corporate level, in offices. Nobody taught me about visualization, but I used to do that many years back. When I went for my first championship in 1987, I used to visualize myself as a champion. I still remember my first championship was in 1987, November the 1st. And even before my championship, I had produced a video, and in the video I introduced myself as the champion of 1987, whereby the tournament didn't happen at all. It was even prior to the tournament, because I visualized myself to be a champion. Visualization is a very strong technique which you can use it. It connects with your mind and it increases your belief. Going back to what Muhammad Ali said, if your mind can conceive and your heart can believe, then you can achieve. There's something which is called the vision board. If you go to internet, if you go onto internet or Google it, vision board, this is one of the vision boards that I have taken from the internet. You can create your own vision board. It could be about your health, about your wealth, about your relationship, about your family, about your office, whatever it is, your personal development. You can stick pictures. It's not necessary that it has to be your picture, but you can stick picture and you can create your own vision board. I have a very big vision board in my house. It is kept in the very front room. It's also there on my mobile phone, so whenever I want to, I look onto my vision board. That gives me, it's like a reawakening for me, saying that these are your goals, make sure that you achieve that, make sure that you are on the track. It's just like a reminder to me. So whenever there is a change in my vision board, I change it. I keep on updating my vision board on my mobile, so that anytime, whenever I'm not in the country, still it is there along with me. So I just have to have, just for 2 minutes, I look onto my vision board and I get much more clarity. I know, I understand where I want to go. And this is exactly what I used to do in 1987. Though I didn't know anything about visualization at that time, but I used to practice that. Very good technique which you can take. That takes us to step number 5. Tell it. Now, what do you mean by tell it? Very simple. Tell to all your friends. Blow the trumpet, what we call it. So blow the trumpet. Announce that this is what you're going to do. And tell them that I'm going to do within this time span. This is my goal. This is my dream. This is my goal, and I'm going to achieve it. And especially don't forget to tell to those people who are going to pull your legs if you don't achieve it. They are the best guys who can just drag you down, pull your legs, and they make sure that you do it. And at least for their sake, you'll achieve your goal. You'll go towards your dream. So share it, tell it. Step number 6, plan. Planning is very important. There are different tools for planning, and this is one of my favorite tools. It's called mind mapping. I use different colors, pencils, pen, etc. And it starts with an objective, what I want to, and then it's got different branches. You can get the whole detail from Google. There's also software for it, and the software that I use is called iMindMap, which was created by the founder, whose name is Tony Buzan. So I use his product. You don't have to use a software. You can use a normal white paper and a different color pen. Very good technique, a very good tool for presentation, a very good tool for a project. Even if it's an event you are organizing, with one single sheet of paper, you can organize the entire event. I remember once I had to organize a couple of events just in one A4 size paper. I organized all the event just in one piece of paper. In the same way, I had to build a company, and I built the whole company with just one single piece of paper using the same technique, which is called mind mapping. A very good technique. I would highly, 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 highly recommend. Planning is bringing your future to the present. You can use any technique. There's another way of using the technique, a different method of mind mapping, but it's not the exact mind mapping, but you can use this system as well. So whichever you are comfortable with. I'm comfortable with the mind mapping more than the one that you see on the screen. When you do a planning, the most important thing is to focus on the outcome. You need to ask the question, where are you now? Where you want to go? Why you want to go? That's a very important question. I believe that you have watched my previous tape or the video series on purpose, which talks about why. So that's very, very important. So you need to ask, when you do the planning, you need to ask, where are you right now and where you want to go, why you want to go, and the how comes later on. You don't have to struggle with the how. The how comes later on. So that's very important. You need to know where you want to go, why you want to go, and where are you right now. If you plan properly, you save time. If you plan properly, you can remain healthy. You don't have to have mental problems because your planning is correct. And if you plan properly, you can even save money. Now you may ask, how is that? I'll give a very simple example. Let's say you are going to the grocery shop once in a month for a monthly shopping, and you don't make a list, the grocery list. If you don't make a grocery list, what's going to happen? You'll go to one spot, then you go to the other spot, you go to the vegetables, then you go to maybe the cosmetic side, then you come back to the butchery side, and you keep on walking up and down and creating your own web. You waste your time there. Don't you agree? At the same time, if you had planned prior to you go to the grocery shop, you have a list of things that you want to buy, then you know exactly, okay, I start from this end of the grocery or the supermarket or the hypermarket, whatever it is. So you know that once I start from this end, these are the things that I have to shop, and by the time I reach the end, I have got everything in my list. So you save your time. Number two, if you don't have a list, you end up buying things that you don't actually require. And you go home and you'll say, oh my goodness, I already have this. Why did I buy it again? It becomes overstock. And you didn't buy things you actually require. Do you agree? So don't you think that you should have a list with you, a grocery list? That is what I call as planning. Let's take the third one. If you don't have a proper planning, if you don't have the grocery list, you walk up and down, you create your own web. By the end of the shopping, you are dead. Physically, mentally, you're dead. And you need to charge yourself with a winding key. So the solution to that is to have a list with you before you go to the hypermarket or to the supermarket for your shopping. That's what is called planning. Planning In other words, before you go to the hypermarket, planning is to bring the hypermarket to your home. Planning means bringing the future to the present. Proper planning prevents poor performance. The 5 P's of planning. Proper planning prevents poor performance. That takes us to step number 7. Very simple. It says, work it. We got to dream it, got to wake up, we got to believe in it, we got to see, we got to tell, we got to plan, and now it says you got to work on it. When I say working, it's simply putting things into action. Am I right? Action separates dreamers from doers. There are a lot of people who dream, but they don't put that into action. If you just dream, you are a dreamer. It is only those who put into action, they move forward. And when I say action, I'm talking about massive action. You got to be 10 times more than a normal person. Michael Jordan, he said some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, and others make it happen. You decide, where do you fall in? Are you the driver who drives the bus as a leader? Or are you the passenger who sits and follows the driver? Or are you the person sitting in the bus stop or the bus station and seeing all the bus passing by? Ask yourself, who are you? Jim Rohn, a great motivational teacher, he said, I can't hire somebody else to do push-ups for me. What a beautiful words. I can't hire somebody else to do push-ups for me. If I want to build my biceps, if I want to build my chest, if I want to build my arms, I have to go on the ground myself. That's called action. Action is not hiring somebody else, but action is you doing the things that you have to do. If you're working as a team, then you have to delegate them what they have to do, but there is a responsibility. You've got 100% responsibility to do what you are meant to do. I hope you agree with me. If you're a leader, still you have a responsibility. If you're a follower, still you have a responsibility. You got to put that into action. Donald Trump, the multi-billionaire, he said, if you think big. Don't think small. Anyway you're thinking, so think big. Let's take an example here, a lion. Is a lion large in size like an elephant? The answer is no. Can it run like a cheetah? The answer is no. Can it climb the trees like a monkey? The answer is no. Can it swim like a crocodile? The answer is no. But still, the lion is the king of the jungle because it thinks it is the king of the jungle. It's how you think. It's not what others think about you. It's how you think and how you define who you are. The same applies with an eagle. Is the eagle large in size like a vulture? The answer is no. Is it beautiful like a peacock? The answer is no. Can it hunt the prey at night like an owl? The answer is no. Can it dive into the water like a kingfisher? The answer is no. Can it peck the wood like a woodpecker? The answer is no. But still, the eagle rules the sky because it thinks it is the king of the sky. What do you understand from this? You got to think big. What you think is what you become. If you think that you are small, then yes, you are small. If you think that you are great, then yes, you are great. If you think that you can win, then for sure you're going to win. If you think that you're going to lose, for sure you're going to lose. It all depends upon what you think. Let's take a scenario here. If somebody comes and tells this gentleman that your wife has divorced you, that's a reaction, because he thinks that to be a great loss. If you pass the same message to another person, he would jump and say, okay, let me go for the next. The incident is the same. The wife divorced the husband, but the reaction is different. It is not what happens to you in your life. It is how you respond to what happens in your life. Once again, I repeat. It is not what happens in your life. It is how you respond to what happens in your life that makes you a winner or a loser. There could be a same case or same scenario. If somebody loses his job, you'll find the guy completely depressed. And if there's another gentleman who loses his job, you say, there's no problem. I'll find another one. It is not what happens in your life. It is how you deal with the scenario. That's very, very important. Let's take an example here. On the screen you can see a wall, and I'm going to call that wall as a problem, and I'm going to give it a number, and let's say it stands in number 5. And there's an ant, and the ant is very small in size compared to the wall, so I'm going to call it as number 1. I'm going to give it a number 1. The wall is a big problem for the ant because the wall is bigger or higher or taller than the ant. Therefore, it sees that as a big problem. The problem remains the same at 5. But now if it's a horse, horse can jump the wall, and it's given a number 8. For the horse, the problem is just a little problem. The problem is the same. It's how you think. Let's take the third example. The problem is still 5, but now there's an eagle, and the eagle does not see a problem at all. Now, if you bring the same scenario into our office, that could be a low-grade staff coming to the manager and saying that we have a big problem, we have got a big issue. The manager would say, yes, we have a problem, but he won't use the word big. And he might now take that to the CEO or to the VP of the department, and the VP would look at the same papers and he would say that I don't see any problem. The problem is the same, but it all depends upon how you respond to the problem. It is not what happens in your life, it is how you respond to what happens in your life that makes you successful. Once again I repeat, it's not what happens in your life, it is how you respond to what happens in your life that makes you a winner or a loser in your life. There is a solution to all the problems, but the thing is that we need to find out the solution. Problems are common, but attitude makes a difference. When it rains, all the birds, it goes back to its nest, to its branches, and hide itself. But the eagle still flies above the cloud, because eagle does not see that as a problem. Now here is a challenge for you all. I would like you to stop the clipping, the video that you're watching right now, and focus on my question. Once you focus on my question, then you can stop and take your time. Let's say there is a wall in front of you, and I'm going to call that wall as a challenge wall. That's an obstacle that's stopping you from your goal. And your goal is on the other side of the wall. Whatever the goal is, there is a goal. That's your goal. My question to you is, be creative, be crazy, and give me ideas. Write down ideas how you can solve the problem and how you can go to the other side. You can come up with any crazy ideas and write it down and see whether it's matching with the ideas that I'm going to show you. If you have got an idea which is not shown in this presentation, just send me an email and I'll make sure that I add your idea into my next presentation. Okay? So just stop it and write down. Okay, I believe that you are back. So let's see the different ideas how to go to the other side of your obstacle. It could be either having a ladder. It could be crazy ideas. I told you it could be a crazy idea, but it is an idea. You can climb on the wall if you are good at that. You can throw a rope and climb on the rope. You can go for a high jump. You can also go for a pole vault. That's a teamwork. You can make a big hole on the wall, or you can make a hole on the road and that goes beneath the wall to the other side, or you can hire an aircraft and fly onto the other side. You can go and do a paragliding or skydiving to the other side. There's a tree which you didn't see there. You can climb on the tree, jump onto the wall, and jump to the other side. You can just smash the wall, or just bring a tank and just do it. Understand, my dear friends, problem is the same, but we have different solution. If you block your mind, you won't find any solution. You have to be crazy and come up with crazy ideas, and you will definitely get solution to every problems. And one of the best tools that I use for this type of activities, whether in my professional life or my personal life, is the mind map. This reminds me a motivational speaker, Shiv Khera. He said, winners don't do different things, they do things differently. Winners don't do different things, they do things differently. If you do exactly like others, then nobody is going to note you, or nobody is going to recognize you. You got to do something different. It could be a crazy thing, but that craziness could make you successful. I happened to meet this gentleman. His name is Farookh, just like my name. He's also a black belt like me, but he's in Taekwondo. He's a motivational speaker and inspirational speaker, which I also do. But one speciality about him is he is the only person from the Middle East, and I believe even still now, he's the only person from the Middle East to conquer the Everest. So I happened to meet him and I asked him what inspired him. What was the inspiration? You can see him on top of the Everest. You can see the Saudi flag, and he has got the Noble Quran in his right hand. And I asked him what in fact inspired him, because it's so dangerous to go there. And he told me it's just Tang Sing and Hillary. They tried in 1951, they failed. 1952, again they failed. But I believe that Tang Sing and Hillary might have stood below the mountain and said, "Hey Everest, you won't grow, but next year I will definitely grow." It's how you think. In 1953, for the very first time in history, a human being stepped on top of the Everest. It's how you think, and what you think, and what is the purpose of going there. Today, hundreds of thousands of people have followed their path. Many have conquered the Everest, many died. And there's a particular path to the Everest which is called the Hillary Path. Jordan Romero, the youngest to climb Mount Everest at the age of 13. He was stopped from Nepal government to climb the mountain from Nepal. So therefore, he, his father, and his father's girlfriend, they had to go through China. That was much more rough and tough than climbing from Nepal. That takes us to step number 8. Enjoy. Enjoy whatever you do. Whether it's exercise, enjoy it. Whether it's reading, enjoy it. Whatever you do, whether it's teaching, whether it's coaching, whether it's seminar, whatever you do, make sure that you enjoy it. The golden rule to success is do what you love and love what you do. If there is no connection between you and what you do, then for sure you're going to stop that. So do what you love and love what you do. Let's recap. Your mind, it takes ideas, it takes thoughts, it takes dreams. It brings a feeling in your body. You take action, and based on the action, you get a result. Now the result could be that you are a winner, or you could be a loser. It depends upon the action that you take. It also depends upon what you think. Always remember, think big. So all actions are connected. If you think that you're going to lose, your action will be based on what you think, and the end result, you're going to lose. Sometimes losing is also winning. In this case, you can see the gentleman has lost his weight in what we call as the biggest loser. So it depends upon the result. It depends upon the definition that you give to the result. But make sure that you take action. Step 1, dream it. Step 2, wake up. Step 3, believe it. Step 4, See it in your inner mind. Tell it. Plan it. Work it. And enjoy it. The former President of India, he said, "Dream is not what you see in sleep. Dream is a thing which does not let you sleep." Dream is not what you see in sleep. Dream is a thing which doesn't let you sleep. Walt Disney. All our dreams come true if we have the courage to pursue them. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this presentation. I look forward to your feedback and comments. My email ID is mail@farookhsensei.com and my website is www.farookhsensei.com. Please do visit my website. Please enter your name and address, and you will receive free ebooks and presentations from me every 15 days. May your dream come true. Believe in your dreams, and they may come true. Believe in yourself, and it will come true. Thank you once again for joining me. Farookh Sensei.